Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and you are listening to another episode of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in one, two, three galaxies. But you and I, ladies and gentlemen, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today is July the 21st, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have something very important to talk to you about. Today, ladies and gents, we are going to talk about intention. Intention. What are we trying to get done? Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I told you before, we are going to get away from the we are going to get into our we are going to get into our bag, and we are going to get away from the pop culture, the news of the day, and we are going to stick with the business. We are going to stick with the creating the business. We're going to stick with the moves you need to make online, the things you need to do. We're going to have fun, but we are going to discuss more serious, uh, you know, things. We are going to be more intentional. And today's episode is just about that. It's about intention. What are you trying to do? Everybody yaps to you about purpose and oh, my purpose and all. Listen, everybody knows if you want to create content because you want to get paid from the content you create. Okay, so we all know that. So purpose is out the window. You know, oh, I want to do this that, and that. Listen, you want to get paid. This is why we create content. This is why everybody creates content. Now, we're going to talk intention. You know, this morning I got dressed. I was brushing my hair. I wanted to look nice. Do not tell my wife this. I wanted to look nice because I thought to myself, my intention for today is to look great. Okay, to have my hair nicely brushed, to have my face looking handsome. To be handsome. That was my intention this morning. So I did all that, and I feel handsome today. I feel good looking today. Okay, that was the intention. The intention of this episode of this podcast is to drive home a point, to bring in more. We are looking for more quality viewers. I was doing something. I was thinking about something this weekend. I was plotting things out. Plotting things out because my intention is to move away from the truck driver. And to get more clients, to get more copywriting clients, to really create a business for myself, to create a business, you know, to not only to forget the create part. It's already created. The business is already created. The goal, the intent is to generate money. So that way we can keep the business afloat, get away from truck driving, and call it a day. Okay? That's the intent. And so I got to thinking, what kind of customers, what kind of people are you looking for? And you want people, when you're talking writing and you're talking, marketing and you're talking, you want to talk to you want to talk to a intellectual person, not, everybody's smart about different things. Okay. What I'm not looking for are the people who want to hear about beef on Facebook. What celebrities are beefing, this, that, and the third. There's an audience for that. And I got to doing some research, and I was chuckling. I saw this weekend. You saw people, they make these videos and they talk about rappers, and they talk about actors, and they talk about celebrities. Oh, Ben and J Lo broke up again. And they do all these videos, and it's funny, it's entertaining to somebody, but I'm never gonna get those people to listen to this show, and that's okay. My goal is to not get those people to listen to the show. My goal is to get people that are going to actually listen to the show, buy things that we promote on the show, follow, subscribe to the email. You want to build an audience. You're going to find an audience, and your goal, your main goal is to retain the audience that you are looking for. Now, I'll give you an example. I was watching a video. I saw this guy, Charles White. He 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 goes out and he says things, and people react, and I don't know why. I don't I don't know why, but people really react. He's like, "Oh man, the Rolling '60s and blah 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 blah," and he's talking to an audience of, if you're worried about gangs and the rolling 60s, that's an audience. That's audience. I'm not saying, that the brightest, eh, if that's your concern, the rolling 60s, maybe not. But he stands there, and I fast forwarded through a video, and it was just sort of him standing there, smoking weed and listening to music, and people were actually commenting. Listen, you got to do research. This is the thing. Does not matter what it is. You got to do research. So I was doing research because I want more people to go to the YouTube channel. I want more people to watch the YouTube channel. I want more people. My intent is to get more people to listen to this program. And so I was doing research. I looked at quite a few, but that one made me laugh because I'm like, this guy's just standing here, and I just fast forwarded it, and it's like, and then it was like 5,000 people watched it or whatever. I was like, why would you stand there and watch this and make comments? I think he might have said one thing or something like that, but I just thought, oh, okay, these are not the people I'm looking for. You know what I mean? And so you do more research, and you learn you learn a lot. Who you ain't looking for, who you're looking for, your intention. And then you have to say, okay, you adjust, and you figure out, you can go, okay, this is what I want to talk about. So this is who I'm gonna, you start to make the think about figuring out who you want to talk to, why you want to talk to them, how can you reach them. You figure it out along the way. It's great to have you want to have a plan ahead of time. Don't get me wrong, but the problem with a lot of people is they sit there and they plan, and they never have the intention of getting started. When are you going to get started? You can have the greatest plan, the greatest military strategy. You could be Napoleon Bonaparte, okay? And you can have the greatest military mind strategy. Napoleon. I got a book about Napoleon at home. I got to read it. Um, because I want to learn. I like to read about military strategy and what he did and all that. That'd be kind of cool. And but his intention, he would never cross the Euphrates and the Tigris and all these other rivers and streams and oceans and whatever Napoleon did, he would have never crossed that if he never actually got started. And so, you know, people all the time, plan this out sounds great, but if you don't actually do the thing if you don't get started, you're never gonna figure it out. So me, I come from the notion of get started, start making content, get comfortable. It might take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes it takes a month. Get started. It does not matter. If you just want to record yourself one day and you're just talking about the flies that you had to deal with when you were 5 years old. Hey, one time I was, blah blah whatever. The point is to get started, to go, go get started. Okay, you go and you get started, and then you say, Okay, who do I want to reach out to? Who do I want to talk to? Who's my audience? Um, the people I'm looking for are the people that want to change. They want to change their career. They want to change their life. They are not, because you don't want, because listen, me, I want to just, I want to have a life outside of, because trucking takes up too much of your time, so much of your time. And so for me, I'm sick of it. And I want to live, I know I'm on the second half of life, okay? It could come anytime, okay? Anytime. I hope it not. I hope not. You know, we're eating healthier, we're working out, so we're trying to maintain. I want to stick around for a long time, long time. But I know, and you know, when you're 46, you're on you're not at home. You're on second base, You're on second base. And you can round home anytime. So, you know, with the intention. But this part of my life, this is a part of my life where I take control. And for anybody else that wants to be in control of their life, they want to make money. Because the one thing that I've learned, money does grow on trees. It's how you plant those trees. You could plant a small tree, go out there. You're not gonna pluck a lot of money out there. You can grow a big old tree, and you can pluck as much money as you want. Because there's no there's no such thing as man, it's only so much money. Listen, you could create a company today and become a billionaire. You could create uh, a business. You can create a business and become a millionaire. You can create a business and make $1,000, $2,000 extra a month. It's just it's up to you, and it's not about oh man, they slowing me down. If I would have known this, a lot of times, people say, oh man, if I would have known this, blah blah blah. Well, you know it now, Bucko. So just go ahead and start doing it. That's the problem with people. It's the problem with people. They always say, "Oh man, if I would have known." You could start anytime. If you want to, you could become a doctor at any time. You might be a doctor for 5 years. You can get started. I remember Judge Mathis. And Judge Mathis said he was a troubled teen. He went to jail. He got out of jail. He started working at McDonald's. Judge Mathis became a judge. A few years later, they was like, "Hey, you want to be on TV?" Judge Mathis was like, "Hey, why not?" He got on TV. Does not does not matter. Does not matter how you start. It's like one day you wake up and you say, you know what? I want to be a millionaire. Figure it out. It'll happen. It can happen. It's not about, oh man, if I would have known, the things I didn't learn from my parents, I've learned as I went on in life, and these are the things that I will pass on to my child. And if there's anything that I didn't tell her, she'll figure it out as she gets older, and she'll say, "Hey, kids, if she has any, hey, whatever people, I've learned this from my parents, and then I've learned this on my own. And that's how it works, kids. Okay, and so you want to have the utmost intention. It's like, all right, we do a show. Who are we talking to? Who are we looking for? It's like whenever you do an ad. You do an ad. I did an ad on TikTok once. I was like, I want more. I want to see how this works, and I want to see if I can get more followers. I put like $5 in. Now I said, let me pick a video that I think people would like. Pick that video. It got a boost. It got more views, and it got more. And I did get more followers. The intention was there. The goal was to get more followers, and that's what I got. And so you always want to be intentional about the things that you do, especially once you get started. And once you get started, you take a pause. You say, "All right, I'm gonna give you some advice. You take a you take you take a you create for a week or two, and then you say, okay, Now, where is this going? Who would I want to talk to? Later on this week, we're gonna have a downloadable sheet for you, and it's going to talk about what not to do when it comes to podcasting. Okay, because I got it. Great advice. Sometimes the best advice is the stuff that you should not do. Like if I was to give Stephen Colbert advice, it would be not to take a dump on the president every single night on your TV show. They will cancel you. Okay? They will cancel you. Stephen Colbert. I don't know if you noticed or not, but Stephen Colbert, he got canceled for the late night show. If you want the address to CBS, hit me up because I have the intention of writing CBS and saying and pitching a late night show. Hey, you never know until you shoot your shot. Okay, but anyway, I'm telling you, get started. Say, hey, where do I want this to go? Get intentional as you move forward. Okay, and then you hone it in. You get focused. You get intentional, and then it will work out. Listen, I know all the time. Hope, maybe, I don't know. Those are those words are the kiss of death. Do not be saying maybe, I hope, I think. Ugh. Yeah. You gotta know, people. Listen, there are certain things that you and I both know you can't control. Okay, I, you know, you you can't, you can hope to be 7 foot and play in the NBA, but a lot of people are not going to be 7 foot. Okay, it's just the way it is, and that's okay. The NBA might not take you. Doesn't mean you can't play basketball at some park. You know, so some of that is out of your control. But the things that you can control, you can control what kind of content you want to create. You can control what kind of audience you're looking for, what kind of audience you're going to find. You can control that. You can control your situation. Okay? Do that. Be intentional. Have intention. Just like I told you. I got dressed. I said I wanted to look good. Today I am looking good, ladies and gents. Okay? The intention was there. And the intention was there. And ladies and gents, that is it. We'll be back tomorrow with an all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. My name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. God bless each and every one of you. And as always, everybody, peace.